fellas, here we're back at Pokemon Masters, and today we're going to be taking a look at Sygna, Lusamine, and Necrozma. Is it old yet? Is the joke old yet? Probably. Anyway, so we're going to be looking at Sygna, Lusamine, and Necrozma here, with their 6-star EX, yeah. 6-star EX and their EX roll. So she gained support, obviously, which was the only buff that she really got directly ever since her release for the most part. But she does have some good partners. That's one thing to say. And the partners that she's good with, I don't have. Most notably, Sygna. Probably her best partner, honestly. Oh well, that's fine though. I got some pretty decent footage here. It's nothing really all that outstanding because it's mostly new champion Rosa carrying Lusamine to victory. New champion Rosa is a busted support, and she is equally good for Lusamine as she is for pretty much like every unit in the game, right? But obviously Lusamine benefits a lot from the master passive as well as from the psychic rebuff and obviously the infinite special moves, next buffs, and all of that. So yeah. Anyway, Sygna Lusamine, I'd say overall she hasn't aged the greatest, but the support X roll is definitely extremely helpful for her because she obviously wants to go Ultra Necrozma to get, for one, the extra stat buffs, as well as get expand reach, so she can do AoE damage with her prismatic laser, as well as just get move Gauge Refresh 4, Super Duper Effective 2, these other passes and whatnot. She wants to use her sync move. She really does. Before that, it was more so detrimental than anything else to use her sync move because her sync move is not the greatest. Her sync nuke, rather, is not the greatest. And, of course, you are missing out on support EX. Well, the support EX roll pretty much mitigates all of that. Her sync nuke is still not that fantastic, but she now is able to actually provide support EX, and it's not a complete waste to actually, use her sync move. So you can now get the Ultra Necrozma for the damage, as well as, obviously, get the support EX, which is great. Her nuke is not bad inherently, but getting hide and sync activated is horrible because pretty much every modern stadium stage, any relevantly difficult stadium stage, has some form of accuracy buffing, whether it be X accuracy all, but most notably pinpoint entry and precision pals. Those are the most notable examples because literally, if you go into stadium this week, every single enemy besides Drake has precision pals or like pinpoint entry. Steven has pinpoint entry too. Sydney has pinpoint entry 1. I think Phoebe has a method. I don't remember. And then Glacia has precision pals. Literally, it's so hard to actually try and get accuracy debuffs to make use of hide and sync here. So what's the best to do is probably try and just avoid hide and sync altogether. Lusamine is very centric on super effective damage because she does also have double down here in the grid. Necrozma is a super effective oriented Pokemon, as in the main series, because I'm pretty sure is it Prismatic Laser or is it Proton, whatever the fuck it's called, whatever the fuck it's called, I can't really think of it. Proton Geyser? I want to say that's right. I don't remember. Either way, it's super effective oriented Pokemon in the main games, so that's kind of why she's built to be super effective here, which does not translate well to how well she is aged, right? Is she a psychic damage dealing god? Yes. If you can find a psychic weak stage, Lusamine will decimate it without sweating at all. She is so good for super effective damage, but outside of that, she's not fantastic, which is what we really want, right? We want a damage dealer that can be fantastic in numerous situations. So until we get an ultimate battle with a psychic weak enemy, I would say Lusamine's probably going to be on the back burner for most people. But I did get some decent footage here to showcase, and if you really are, keen on trying to make Lusamine work, new champion Rosa, Sygna. These characters do help her out a lot for doing off-type damage. So yeah, I'm sorry for rambling. Let's go ahead, hop into the battles and see how much the support EX roll is really benefiting Sygna, Lusamine, and Necrozma. So here's the first battle here against Drake. This one is a battle, I actually did this like third. This is not the first battle that I did, but this is probably the best look at Lusamine's damage overall without hide and sync. Again, as I said, it's probably just best to skip hide and sync because getting accuracy debuffs is so bad. Ingo is the single best unit to do accuracy debuffing, and you can obviously think about how horribly synergistic Ingo and Lusamine really are. So if that doesn't say anything, I don't know what does, right? We definitely need a better accuracy debuffing character, support rather, in order to actually make Lusamine good. Like, literally just bring a character that can buff special attacks, or even just defensive. If it's a defensive character, just give them a move that can debuff accuracy, AoE, 100% chance. It's not that broken. It really isn't. Not as broken as what we've been getting anyway, so please, just do it. Anyway, we go ahead and we nuke with Lusamine here. We do have Psychic Terrain and the -1 Psychic rebuff. Critical Strike 1, I believe, in the grid, plus Brain Sync 5, putting up about 8,000 damage. Definitely not bad for a character that is mostly here to utilize the Support EX function and provide Support EX to the team. Rosa's so crazy. Oh my god. And then Bianca out here putting up 10,000 damage because of the plus like 4 special moves next. And then Lusamine with like, what, 17,000 damage, I want to say? About 17,000 damage on the first prismatic laser due to, you know, psychic rebuff, psychic terrain, partial activation of the master passive because of just herself, and also Rosa's master passive as well. And all that, right? So yeah, pretty good damage if you really want to give her some burst damage. Again, Sygna Lana is the best partner for her because she applies psychic terrain as well as applying part of the master passive for Lusamine. So you can definitely make some good stuff there as well. And of course, she's just a better DPS. But of course, if you have Bianca, clearly you can make some decent utilization of that as well. I don't know if Rosa was necessary for this battle, but obviously the plus 4 special moves next in the psychic rebuff and the small bit of the master passive was definitely very, very helpful for sure. So you could probably replace Rosa with someone like Iono with special defense debuffs, maybe same to Brendan, who knows, and you could potentially get a similar effect. But either way, yeah. Let's go ahead, hop into the next battle where we utilize, I guess, mother-daughter combo. Why not? Alright, here we are against Drake again, because Drake is probably the only one that's actually really possible to fight, because everyone else has a shitload of health, or does a shitload of damage. Whatever. Anyway, so, we're again using Neo Champion Rosa here. If I would have recorded these battles out of order, I probably would have ended up swapping out Neo Champion Rosa for someone else, at least someone that's not so clearly dominant, because Rosa is just an absurd character, just absolutely baffling. But whatever. We use Lily here and the fucking what's the Pokemon? Lunala. I know Pokemon. I brain farted. All right, but we use Lunala and Lily here in order to apply again Master Passive because she does also have Flag Bearer. So we've got double Alola Master Passives here, and we're both applying them to each other. And of course, we still have Rosa's Master Passive as well. Lily does just as little damage as she always does. And again, this is just kind of brute forcing. This is without Psychic Terrain, so we're missing a whole 50% buff here. But we are utilizing Lily, right? So it could be better, it could be worse. We are just using a side DPS instead of Psychic Terrain. Obviously, if I had Sygna's Gladion, I probably would also showcase him alongside Lusamine, especially because he's also a good special attack debuffer. But either way, we didn't really have that privilege here. So go ahead, use the nuke here, set up Prismatic Laser. We don't KO, or we don't quad Q, I mean, so that's fun. Either way, we also just completely fail in order to actually set up our gauge, because obviously not the greatest gauge users here. Lusamine does have good speed, right? Does have good speed, but of course she's not going to be controlling gauge for us. Either way, about 7,500 damage with what, +1 special moves next, plus psychic rebuff. So equate that to probably being around this similar damage with psychic terrain. So again, if you have someone like Anniversary May, Sygna Lana, or even like Sygna Suit Steven and the infinite field effects parameter, because he can set psychic terrain in the normal form, right? But obviously it lasts for like 2 seconds. But if you have the infinite field effects, it'll be forever. Then you'll have some pretty good damage from Lusamine for sure. The prismatic lasers can definitely put up some good damage because obviously the support EX, about 440 special attack from Necrozma itself, the critical strike 2, the critical strike 1 in the grid. You could also pick up weird vibes 1 in the grid if you want to go ahead and go for that. So there's a decent few ways to power up prismatic laser, which is already a pretty powerful move, right? It's like 170 base power. It's like 100 less than hyper beam, but still that's a good chunk. So you can definitely make some good looking battles and whatnot with just trying to utilize her DPS more than her sync nuke, which is definitely not a bad idea for sure. But of course it does require syncing with her, right? So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the battle rally, because I do want to show her with the support and strike combo being able to do a lot of good damage and obviously apply that double point boost. So yeah, let's go ahead and go over to that. So here we are utilizing Ingo and Sygna Suit Brendan here for this battle. So no Psychic Terrain, no Psychic Rebuff, no special move. Well, I guess +1 special move is next from Brendan on entry, but that's not really all that significant. Either way, so we're going to be using Ingo here to debuff accuracy for hide and sync. Thankfully, this is a battle rally to where strength of the enemies isn't extremely bad. This is battle 3, and we do actually have the villain booster, so surprisingly, we're actually able to get that 100% stat boost with Lusamine. So how well does this translate to an actual stadium battle? I don't know. But either way, this is a striker and support boosted battle, so I'm going to be utilizing Lusamine anyway, because she is one of the few characters that obviously has the combination of strike and support, other than obviously the supports that have support and strike. You know, she's a striker with support. I think that's a bit more rare. So whatever. Either way, we go ahead and go for the sync nuke here. Could obviously go for Brendan or Ingo's, but of course the point of Lusamine is to showcase her EX roll and again get Ultra Necrozma so we can really get those stat buffs. could use Brendan's Sync move for the special moves next from Smart Start 1, but really that's just not worth it. We quad Q the Prismatic Laser, and we're able to get the enemy to pretty much -5 accuracy here. Again, this is without Psychic Terrain or Psychic Rebuff, or like, well, we do have Special Defense debuffs, or special moves next and whatnot, so do keep all of this in mind while we're looking at this battle here. This is definitely Lusamine in a more weakened, I guess, state. You could definitely have brought Psychic Terrain Setter or Neo Champion Rosa again instead of Brendan here to apply probably some better damage, but really it doesn't matter. That's not really the point of this. So yeah, we get him to -6 special defense and -6 accuracy, and this is pretty much Lusamine's full nuke, right? Obviously it's off type, but this is pretty much her full nuke for an off type nuke. Hide and Sync 5, Brain Sync 5, Critical Strike 2, 12,000 damage, off type, no Psychic Terrain, no Psychic Rebuff, none of that stuff. So pretty decent, I would say. I mean, we also do have the Villain Booster, so we do have like literally doubled the stats, but we do get 900 points as well. So very, very nice. But yeah, I mean, there's Lusamine against the Battle Rally. I figured I'd go ahead and pop this in here because again, these EX rolls are becoming more and more valuable for this stuff like the Battle Rally. So I wanted to see just how well Lusamine could hold up. There was a Battle Rally support and strike boost at the very end against the Ultimate Battle, but I ain't got time for all that. And for 2, I probably would have done hard mode anyway, which is against Duroc. And again, we have the Villain Booster, so it would have been just a complete sweep, not really anything worth noting. But whatever, yeah. Let's go ahead, finish off this video. We'll be doing a duo against the Lattos because, yeah, why not? Let's just bully Lattos. Alrighty, here versus Lattos. We got ourselves Clement. Why did I bring Clement? Just accuracy debuffs, that's it. Again, I want to activate Hide and Sync because these longer battles, like against the Battle Rally, or, well, Battle Rally is not really a longer battle, but they tend to be less harder hitting battles and are more so like, I don't know, it's just easier to get like accuracy debuffs against the Battle Rallies and whatnot. The situations are far more diverse than actual Stadium, in my opinion. But whatever, we're able to use these Legendary Arena battles as well in order to get a lot of accuracy debuffs in, so we can go ahead and get Lusamine's nuke pretty much fully activated midway through the fight for the most part. Hell, even at the beginning, right, if we wanted to take it a little bit slower. Go ahead and go for Lusamine Sync move here. We're going to be mostly spamming Prismatic Laser for the beginning, but then towards the end we're going to be spamming Mirror Shot because we do need Gauge to get to our Sync moves and whatnot, because obviously that's just how that works. Also, I keep spamming Electro Web for no reason. I'm literally just misclicking because I forget where Clement's stuff on the grid is because I rarely use them. Literally his only use to me is to like be a good Gauntlet character. I don't care about his, you know, healing 1,000 health in Stadium battles and whatnot. I don't really care all that much. Either way, so Lusamine doing some decent enough damage once we get our Prismatic Lasers going, and we are again getting good debuffing on the accuracy, so we can make sure Lattos misses a few attacks, and of course again just activating Hide and Sync. You can solo Lattos with a Lusamine, but again, ain't got time for all that, and I also don't care to change Lucky Skills without the Lucky Skill update yet. So once we do get that update, maybe I will consider actually, you know, changing around Lucky Skills, potentially doing some solos, but also to consider how much RNG tends to be in these solos. I don't have time for that. I'm a college student. I try and do things that I can have at least a little bit of time to do, and also I try and use this game to relax, not really stress about doing solos for characters and whatnot, right? So I think that's fair enough, right? Either way, we heal up the pennies worth of amounts of health from the Parabolic Charge, but it does actually end up making it so we don't get KO'd instantly here, so I mean, that's something, right? And then this is the point where it requires a decent bit of luck. We got the Surf hit, which doesn't do all that much damage to us, but it does KO Clement, so this means that Lusamine has pretty much just opened herself up to being bombarded by Lattos, potentially. So we got to get the Mirror Shots in and try and get a miss in if we can. And spoiler alert, we don't. But Lusamine survives with like fucking 10 health, and we go ahead and use our Sync move here. I think this KOs. If it doesn't, we could have potentially quad queued up that Prismatic Laser, and that definitely would have KO'd at that point, so that wouldn't have been too bad, but there we go, we KO'd them. And again, Support EX Ultra Necrozma shows its face again to be very good at getting good burst damage in very, very quickly. Support EX is extremely good on any character, 100%, but it definitely is more beneficial on these characters like Sygna Suit Serena, Sygna Suit Lusamine, like a Mega Evolution character also. Those are very, very good for that as well. These characters that want to get extra stat buffs or extra, you know, passive skills, like again, Lusamine's passes go from like entry freebie and super healthy super hit, I think, to super duper effective 2 and move gauge refresh, right, on her change into Ultra Necrozma. So you do want to try and get these stat buffs, these passive changes and whatnot, and Support EX definitely does help that, because obviously there tends to be the issue of having to use a Striker Sync move, miss out on Support EX, and potentially not even get that great damage from that anyway, right? Just because you want to get the stats from the Mega Evolution. Support EX mitigates that completely, and it's definitely the best role for Lusamine, and most characters that, again, have, you know, Zygarde Complete Form, Ultra Necrozma, Mega Evolutions, whatever other form change you can see, like on a Mega Evolution, those type of things are definitely going to be the best things to be benefited by Support EX. So yeah, that's my review for Sygna Suit Lusamine. I'd say she got a pretty good buff for sure. Definitely not like a top tier character still, but definitely not bad for sure. Definitely has great partners in Sygna Suit Lana. View Champion Rosa is an amazing support for all characters, but definitely for Lusamine being a Psychic type character as well. So yeah, that's my overview. I'll see you all later. I hope y'all enjoyed.